There's not winning or losing. There's winning and learning. Mm-hmm. And everything for me is learning. Every day. I don't fail, I learn.
Welcome back to Frederick Advice Givers, episode 190. This week, I've got my good friends, MaryLou Fisher, the first half of Lou, and Alex Nunemaker, the second half of New. So they're Lou and New. They are kind of, I guess they're kind of social media stars. I'm a little starstruck today. They've got this series that they do called Lou and New. Is it Lou and New Review or just Lou and New?
Lou and New Lake Linganore Review.
Lou and New Lake Linganore Review. So search them just on Facebook?
Oh yeah, just on Facebook.
So on Facebook, Lou and New Lake Linganore Review. Check them out. I think this past episode that just came out this prior week had like a Blair Witch theme. You guys were like running through the woods of Lake Linganore. Like, yep. It was pretty crazy.
Basically her backyard.
We were lost.
Oh, I was scared. I was scared. It was pretty intense, right?
It was intense.
I mean, we were in there, what, 2-3 days?
Days.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys could make it to do this interview, so thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So, Alex and MaryLou are kind of intertwined. Business is with what we do. MaryLou's a real estate professional. Alex is a mortgage consultant. Before we get into that, guys, though, give us your backstory. Where did you grow up? What do you enjoy in your spare time? Kids, family, husband, wife, whatever. Alex, you want to go first?
Sure. So I don't know, where do I start? So I've been a mortgage lender since 2008 now. So basically when everybody was getting out of the mortgage industry, I was the idiot who was running in. It was, super difficult times, but gained a lot of experience, and I'm better for it, actually. Live in Lake Linganore, which is kind of why we kind of, wanted to focus on the Lake Linganore area, because we're both from here and we're very passionate about where we live. With my wife Candace, and 2 boys and a little girl. So that
a little girl.
Yes, a little girl, 1-year-old girl.
Keeps you busy.
Yeah.
Awesome. ML?
So I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okie dokie. I love the Packers and the Badgers. I went to the University of Wisconsin. I have a degree in marketing and history, and moved out here with my husband. He's from Bethesda.
How did you and Mr. John Fisher meet?
We met in Chicago at a bar.
Nice.
I'd like to say church, but
we know that's not the truth.
And he also went to college at the same place I did, so it was kind of neat that we had a lot of the same experiences and had a lot of the same friends. Moved out here. John has never even been to Frederick, Maryland, and we found this really cool Frank Lloyd Wright house, and he thought, well, we both work from home, so we don't need to commute. Let's just live here.
Awesome.
He's never even heard of it, so it was great. It was awesome. We both live now in the same neighborhood, and that's it. I got into real estate in 2005, right when I moved here. I was in the event business.
Whose idea was it? Who came and said, we're going to do this crazy off-the-wall kind of sitcom, like different themes? Like, whose idea was this?
I kind of want to see what you think happened, and then I'll tell you what I think happened.
I called Alex one day, and I was like, Alex, we have to collaborate and do something together. We are super funny.
You are. You're very funny.
No, but we're just naturally I'm kind of sarcastic and just naturally laid back as a person. Right. So I was like, Alex, let's do something. And Alex was did something like this in the past.
Yeah.
But it didn't come to fruition. So I'm very task oriented. So I was like, oh no, this is coming to fruition.
Yeah.
It's going down.
So I had been doing a lot of videos on my own, and I teach video marketing classes, and just get out there, put yourself in front of the camera. And the one thing that most people are afraid of is the camera. And so everybody I had been approached a lot of times about, doing video series, or maybe we started doing something.
I didn't know this.
But then, and then, it just kind of fell off. And then, you came to me and said, I want to, we sat down, we had that talk and said, well, I want to do a video series on Lake Linganore.
We do travel.
Yes.
And travels.
And we agreed that if we were going to do it, we wanted it to be fun. We wanted it to be interesting. We didn't want to just be...
Same old story. Welcome to 123 Main Street. This is the bedrooms and this is the house. And look at the trees.
Yeah.
We wanted to incorporate like satire and that kind of shtick.
Our normal like interactions.
Right.
Like when people see us together, they're like, you guys are crazy. So we wanted people to see our videos and think,
yeah,
you guys are crazy, but I like you.
So who comes up with the who comes up with the theme?
I think she comes up with themes more often than not.
I probably come up with the themes, but Alex does all the behind the camera work.
Right.
And I kind of rein you in a little bit. So you'll say like, I want to do this and blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, MaryLou,
That's true.
physically, how can this happen? And like
Reining in parts.
on a budget of $0, you know, basically. So yeah, a lot of it's just kind of like us playing back and forth, or we'll see a property and then we just start brainstorming. A lot of times there's a property that like we want to spotlight, and then literally we show up at the house and we just started, well, what if we do this, what if it, and then like within 30 minutes
sometimes
we
wear like
figure it out.
costumes and stuff though, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes it's just really organic material.
Yep.
Just like the two of you talking.
It's our art.
You guys are very artsy. I like it. All right, so take this back on a personal level.
Bring it back.
What's the last purchase that you splurged on for either yourself or your family? And I know Alex, this is the third week of November when this is airing. So you've got about 5 weeks to make this goal that you've had. So I was actually, so truth be told, what you did, because it's you, worked. Okay, so let me just give you a backstory. Alex, he's with Fitzgerald Financial here in Frederick. He moved over in April, May.
Yep,
April, May, right? And I guess Fitzgerald had these goals that said, if you close $12 million in loans between May and December, you get to go on this Bahamas trip, right?
Yeah, Jamaica.
Jamaica. You and Candace, your wife, your lovely wife. I don't have to put up with you, but you and your wife. And about 2 months ago, Alex said, you know, I need your help. I'm trying to get Candace to go to Jamaica. Coming from anybody else, it would have been construed as, man, what's this asshole talking about? Like, this guy, he's a jokester. Coming from you, and I guess it was an interview the other day I was just talking about this. Coming from you is like genuine. Like, people like you. Like, people like genuinely, like, once they meet you, like, they know you're a good dude. They know you're like not like the salesperson. Like, they know you're a good dude. So I know that's a long intro to.
Yeah, just sleeping.
What is the last purchase that you splurged on for yourself or your family?
So do you want me to talk about the
thing? Your update. So give us an update and then where.
So yeah, you know, like you had said, there was you know, the sales goal, which would be probably the best year that I've had in the industry, and I didn't really think about it. I'm not actively trying to reach it, but then yeah, around October I started doing the math and I was like, wait a minute, I'm super duper close to meeting this goal. So I would love to, you know, me and my, you know, beautiful wife, obviously we have 3 kids. Vacations are hard to come by that are not child-centric. Right. And we had talked about that in the past, like we should just go, you know, someplace warm. And I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to, like, she does so much for the family. She has supported me through thick and thin, and yeah, it's not even about me, truthfully. Like, and that's one thing I was a little bit worried about, is that, you know, it would be perceived as like, Alex just wants to, you know, make sales, and I just, that's not me. So it was just like a really cool, I was like, I can do this, and it's a great way for me to kind of stretch myself, and I put myself out there, and I was a little bit nervous that it was going to be taken the wrong way, but no, people have stepped up, and it's been awesome to see family, friends, people who I don't even know.
So ML, you?
ML does not splurge. I am a tightwad. Nope. I save all my money.
You went on a trip recently, didn't you?
I do. I splurge for vacations for our family.
That's how my wife and I are. We don't spend money on like material things.
Yeah, I'm not a
We
material,
spend money
right.
on experiences.
Yes. We do a lot of traveling. We're going to Breckenridge for Christmas.
Awesome.
We're going to Florida for, you know, we do that kind of thing.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's splurging. I mean, that's giving your kids these
Yes.
experiences,
I
and your
agree.
kids are the
You're
same
right.
age as my boys.
But from a tangible perspective, I don't.
Right.
And I'm always thinking about it because I'm calculating. I didn't even want to get a new car, and my husband was like, can you please get rid of the...
Death trap.
Yeah, that's falling apart. So it's just those kind of things, but you're right. I would say trips, experiences.
Awesome.
My kids are very lucky.
And I'll stay with you for this one. What hobby or interest besides entertaining, being funny? I know you do a lot of yoga and working out. Every time I ever see you or we come to an event together, you like always just came out of the gym. You're a hot mess. So what hobby or interest could you spend hours doing?
Well, I CrossFit every day.
Okay.
So that's my appointment. If I'm not available between 8:30 and 10, that's where I usually am.
Awesome.
It's important to me and it's important in my health.
Alex, what hobby or interest could you spend hours doing?
I wish I had more time to work on my Volkswagen Beetle. So I've got a 65 Beetle that I'm restoring, which just recently I decided I don't have enough time to do this. So I'm having a shop doing the majority of the work for it.
Okay.
And then I'll do a lot of the mechanical restoration of it, myself. So yeah, that's, the more time I can work on cars, I'm happy when I'm working on cars.
Awesome. So 08, mortgage lender, mortgage broker in the mortgage industry.
Yep.
05, real estate agent. It's kind of, real estate agent. You're a real estate agent. All right, so
is 9,000 other people.
I know, really? Can you,
Right.
well, in the last couple of years,
Yeah,
everybody's
same.
getting mortgages too. Can you get, can you go and take 30 hours of classes and get your
Right.
license for somebody's largest investment? All right, we're not going to go off on a tangent here. We'll
tangent.
stay on the script. What is one piece of advice that you could either go back and tell your former self or somebody just starting out in either your industry or being entrepreneurial in general?
For me, when I started, I thought that I could just sit behind a desk and be a good technician, basically. So I knew my guidelines. I knew how to get someone approved, and I was really good at that side of the business, but I wasn't good at, or didn't think that it was important to go out and make relationships. My idea was, if I'm the best technician out there, people will come to me for a mortgage. But I've found that that's not necessarily true. You have to have both sides. You have to know and be a technician, but you also have to let people know that you're available. You have to let people know what you do. So when you marry those two things up, that's amazing. So yeah, if I could go back, I would say go out and make sure that you're making as many connections and relationships. It's great that you're a technician, but if people don't know about you, it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. So I just actually did this in a training the other day, a book I read, Harry Beckwith, Selling the Invisible. People are going to go with you because really how you make them feel. Like, are they important in your eyes? Okay, do you make them feel that way? You can be the best technician or tactical, but if they don't feel that you actually care for them, then they're just going to go with somebody else.
Right.
So,
And if you're
absolutely,
the
you got to have
best,
both parts.
And if you feel like you're the best and you can give them customer service and they don't know about you, then shame on you.
Exactly.
So that's the thing that kind of drives you, is that if you feel like you can give someone down the street, if you don't let them know that and they go with someone else, then they lost out on the opportunity to work with you. So
exactly. So try to do both sides.
Yep.
Work on the relationships. ML, what's a piece of advice?
So my piece of advice would be that also, build friendships. I think for me, it's just building relationships, friendships, and really having a high moral compass and kind of showing your buyer, seller,
Right.
whoever you're engaging, that's important to you, because it's important to me. But I think my best piece of advice would be, don't spend your first paycheck. Because if you're not going to be financially astute in this business, then it's going to wash you away quickly. And I think you can build and build and build on yourself if you keep saving your money.
Right. And that's something that a lot of people in our industries, when you're a 1099, when
Yeah,
you are
I mean, I
getting
see it all the
commissions-
time. They go buy the first Mercedes in 23. It blows my mind.
Yeah, it's not.
Because it doesn't work like that. And the real, besides health, the next thing is you sleeping well at night is by having financial freedom.
Yep.
So, what is something that somebody told you in the last 12, 13 years that it maybe a guru told you or a piece of advice somebody gave you that when you actually looked at it, either didn't fit with like who you were or it was just straight up bad advice? And either one, I'll let you go, whoever can figure it out first. This is always the one that kind of stumps people.
Yeah. You know, there's definitely an element in my industry that is salesy. So they say you just have to hound people, and then eventually you will get business.
For all 10 no's.
You know, seven no's is a yes.
And to a certain extent, that is true, but only to it dehumanizes the process.
Right.
So there's certain trains of thought where they say, like, look, it doesn't even matter. Like, you need to go out there and it's sell. And I've seen a lot of people be quote unquote successful for that, but I want no part of that. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people that is just, you know, it's the wear people out mentality, which can bring money, but
Short term, I think.
Short term, but it does damage to reputation.
Exactly.
It does damage to relationships that, you know, I knew fairly quickly that one that was not for me, and that, you know, I wasn't going to go down that path.
Mel, you got
Same.
one?
It's very similar. I had this boss type person one time that said, if anyone asks you about sales, MaryLou, you just tell them you're cashing checks. And that was terrible advice because that's not true to who you are. And I think it's okay to say, you know what? It's rough right now. I mean, Alex and I talk about it together. Yep. We'll call each other. I'm like, Alex, am I off base or is this happening? Tell me, I want you to tell me what's happening if I'm off base with this one.
Right.
Is it me or is it, you know, and being transparent and being real is a part of this instead of just lying to your customer and yourself.
Or even on social media.
Cashing checks.
Social media is a dangerous thing because if you go on social media, everybody's cashing checks and
killing it.
Everybody's killing it. Hashtag amazing. Hashtag killing it. Hashtag.
So you kind of have to like put that out of your mind and realize that a lot of that stuff isn't true. And you know, you keep on what we know to be true, which is if you keep on building relationships and making connections, that's what matters, and all the other stuff will work itself out.
Sometimes people don't like what I have to say, but you know what? It's real in that moment.
All right, so before we move on to the you guys ask me a question, I really want to thank the homeowner here. I didn't want to do it at my office. We didn't want to do it at your office. There's 8 million people around. ML, we didn't want to do it at your gym, which is really kind of your office. We wanted to kind of come to on location. I came through this house the other day. You know, I had a potential buyer for it. It's a beautiful house, and I asked MaryLou, you know, hey, do you mind if we shot at this house? We're on the 4th floor, kind of like deck top area. We're in Stone Barn.
Party room.
So, you know, thank the homeowner. Give us a little shout out about this house, ML.
So yeah, thank you to the White family. We're at 8809 Shady Pines Drive in Urbana. We're in brand new construction. It's only a year old. It's on the market for $485, and it's 4 bedrooms, 4 levels. It's huge. Everything's brand new. Everything's well appointed. So yeah, come check it out.
You see the beautiful bar in the back. So you walk in. In townhouses, you can only do so much stuff with townhouses. You walk in one townhouse, so you feel like you've seen them all. This, you walk in, you've got like a office, living room on the left. You walk up the main floor, big, huge main floor, right?
Oh, did you see their garage?
Yeah, I did. With the workout area? Yeah, I know you love that.
Their garage is air conditioned and heated, and
Yeah.
You have to check it out when you leave. It's really neat.
3rd floor is bedrooms. 4th floor, kind of like party entertainment area. They've got probably a 20 by 24 veranda deck thing off the back that can overlook
3 decks in this house. One off the master, one off the main living space, and up here.
Beautiful. So if you want to move in quickly, you don't want to wait for them to build.
This is it.
Come check this house out. I want to flip the script. You guys are episode 190. I love
flipping it.
I love flip it.
Flip it.
I love
And reverse it.
asking questions and learning. Like I take stuff out of every interview I do with an entrepreneur. Like I'll take a little nugget. Maybe I won't give anything insightful. And you guys are some of my best friends, so we kind of know each other.
We love you.
So I want you to ask me a question.
Okay.
Anything you want.
I would like to ask you, what is your favorite rap song?
So I've just started working out. Okay. Last 29 days ago. I took on this little program. So when I run, and running's like 2 days, it's always, you know, Pandora, the station's like Easy E.
Oh, good.
So anything Easy E, NWA, Too Short.
A little old school.
Yeah, Snoop.
That's
Oh, it's
good.
from when I was growing up.
Yeah,
I'm not
me
gonna listen
too.
to today's rap.
Same.
So Easy E was probably
Yeah.
my number one rapper.
Hey, I learned something.
Mr. Nunemaker.
Oh man. I'm trying to think of something that I don't know about you.
Okay.
Because yeah, like you said, we're friends. I actually can I re-ask the same question that you asked me, because
Yeah, sure.
I want to know what is the best piece of advice that you've gotten over the years, but also the one piece of advice that you're happy that you didn't take. You know, it came from someone who was well respected, but you said, nope, that's not for me.
Okay, so the best piece of advice that I got was definitely within my first year of real estate. Before I had my own company, I was partners with another broker, Marla Johnson. She basically cut my teeth. I've known her since I was in kindergarten. When I went to get my real estate license, it was just her at the time. I went and said, you know, what do I do? She said, you go to McIntosh, take these classes. And 3 months later, I showed back up at her door and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start. She's like, well, go talk to X, Y, and Z and ABC and 1, 2, 3. I was like, no. I'm not going to talk to them because I know you. I know if I'm going to make it in this industry, it's going to be because of you. You know, she was a single mom at the time, 2 daughters. Erin, her oldest daughter, I went from kindergarten through college with. And I knew Marla my entire life, so I knew the core of her character. And, you know, what she did was real estate. And she said, Eric, like, if you take care of the clients, like, I don't know where the business is going to come from. I've been at near, you know, I couldn't pay my mortgage and I've been financially strapped. I just know that I've always taken care of my clients and just business just comes somehow. And that was something that I took and internalized. And I've tried to live it up. I'm not always the best or whatever, but I try to really just take care of my clients the best I can. And I've been very fortunate, like you. 05, I started in 02, so a few more years. And during that downtime, it was tough. Like when you got in, it was tough. But my clients have always taken care of me because I really kind of do the best I can for my clients. Piece of advice that...
Real quick before we move on,
Yeah.
the thing that I love about that is that it's simple and open-ended.
Right.
It's not, well, Eric, if you're gonna build your business, you need to have these 12 touches during the transaction. It didn't even go into that. It's just take care of the client.
Yep.
And then you know what you need to do.
What he needs for
then,
him.
Right, so, and then that just takes care of itself.
I knew that if I could get into this 10 years, like the referrals, if I did a good enough job, like my kind of benchmark was like 10 years. Like if I can make it 10 years, I think I can do this. Now with Zillow and Open Door and all this kind of coming in, buying houses before they get on the market, the real estate industry is going to change, but I've been in 17 years now, and the last 7 have definitely been easier than the prior 10. So a piece of advice, it was probably the same piece of advice I got from Marla. Like I went to, and I'll go ahead and name it because he's not quiet about what he does, like Craig Proctor, like, if I don't sell your house in 60 days, I'll buy it, or 30 days, I'll buy it. And, you know, I went there in my second or third year of real estate. It's like, man, this guy, you know, you can get a lot of business. This is back when they had like classified ads, like the newspaper, you would like run an ad, like,
Just cash and checks.
yeah, cash and checks, cash and checks. And I went back to Marla and we looked through the whole program, and she said, well, you know, you can do this, but all this fine print down here, like you're gonna be known like for the sleazy fine print guy. Do you wanna be the sleazy fine print guy, or do you just,
What you were saying about
Yeah.
sales.
yeah, you just wanna do a good job for your clients, and this will get you quick business. This will get you quick business. Like it'll get quick, but it won't form the relationship.
That's right.
Right? So that's probably the piece of advice that I'd kind of, you know, from a seminar, you go to a seminar, you get all happy. They're jumping up and down, and that I didn't take.
You too can be a millionaire in 60 days.
Yeah, exactly. So just, you know, doing right by clients. All right, so one more question, guys, since we're going to cut a couple of the questions out since it's a dual interview. What failure or loss, and I've had people cry during this, we can get as deep or as not deep as you want. It can be personal, can be business, can be a loved one. What failure or loss has helped shape the person that you are today?
Well, MaryLou?
Well, MaryLou? It's hard to say.
Failure or loss? It doesn't have to be a loss. It can be a failure. It can mean sometime you didn't do what you wanted to do, or.
No, I mean, we all have failures, and what I always tell my kids is, there's not winning or losing, there's winning and learning. Mm-hmm. And everything for me is learning. Every day. I don't fail, I learn.
Okay.
Every single day. I mean, Alex and I have both lost a parent, so we talk about that a lot, and I think that helps not form who we are, but we definitely know that
There's a perspective.
there's a perspective.
Puts things in priority.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think that it makes you, I grew up, with not what I have now, and it just forms you. And I think daily, when I turn on the water fountain, I'm like, wow, my sink, I'm grateful there's water. Right. When I go to the grocery store, I'm like, wow, there's an abundance of things here for me. I think that's really cool. So I have real gratefulness perspective, and I think that when you do lose a parent early in your life, Alex's parent died when he was much younger, but I was in my 20s. Right. You lose a piece of yourself, and trying to figure that out, you kind of have to do it on your own.
Yep. The 1991 NFC Championship, my Lions lost to the Redskins. I've never quite gotten over that. But no, I'll continue with that thing because I think that's probably, and that set up so many dominoes for, I guess, my experiences growing up. Dad passed away at 9. You've got single parent, the whole family, struggled, and you see those struggles, and you talk about, finances and how important that is for it. It all just kind of comes in, and then compound that into us losing our family home because of mortgage fraud.
Us too.
Which,
yeah, we've talked about this.
People hear that and they say, well, why are you a mortgage lender? That's a good reason to be a mortgage lender. If I'm not going to be there, who are going to be the good guys? And I'm not saying I'm the only good guy or the only good person in the mortgage lending industry, but in an industry that needs some good people, if I can step up and do that, and I went into the mortgage industry just trying to literally figure out what happened, and I thought that I was going to be doing something else in like a year. But then after diving into it and figuring out what I'm good at this makes sense to me. Getting that belief that I can make this happen, and it's funny that you said 10 years because that's the same benchmark that I had. Well, it seems like it really is. You got to make it the first 10 years, and that's the hard part. And then if you just keep on, then the well kind of pumps itself. So, losing parent really drives so many things for me. Even now having kids of my own,
for sure.
Man.
Yeah.
You and I, and none of us have tomorrow, promised. So you gotta have those experiences now. You gotta build the Beetle. You gotta go on that vacation. And people don't give a crap about the possessions. It's about experiences and the relationships that you make.
Exactly. All right, so let's finish up with how would the listeners, viewers get a hold of you guys professionally if they needed a mortgage or needed a great real estate agent.
So my website is youandmarylou.com, and that is the best place to search for homes because you can search through schools, which all my clients love to do. Search directly through schools. It's a great interactive website, and it's better than Zillow because it's updated every half hour. The algorithm picks up every half hour, not every day. So you can get a hold of me through that.
My website is homeloanswithalex.com. That's got all my contact information there. So if you're looking to purchase, a lot of people are refinancing right now. So I'll say that.
I just did. It was great.
Twice.
So what's your rule of thumb on refinancing? Because I've got one.
Yeah.
You want me to share mine first or yours?
Sure. Yeah. I want to see yours, and then I'll see if we agree.
You show me yours. And I'll
So when my wife and I built our house in 2006, rates were probably about 6%. And my kind of rule of thumb was in the first couple of years, once you get asked, or year 10 or 12 or 15, it kind of doesn't make sense, or you might want to go to a 15. We're not going to go into the specific details, but my rule of thumb is if I could save a 0.5%, I felt it was advantageous. My last refinance took me into the 3s, and I went from a 30 to a 15. And over the life of the loan, I'm not going to get into the exact numbers, but
That's what I just did.
You did?
I just did do a 30 to a 15 on both of my properties.
Yep. I told my wife, I was like, we paid for college.
Yes.
This move in the long term,
Looking at the number
we paid for
on
college.
paper,
Right.
it is advantageous to do so if you can and you're in the financial position to do so.
Absolutely.
Absolutely do it.
So do you have a rule of thumb for your clients?
I'm going to tell a story instead because I think that's the better way to do it. So in 09, I bought in, and I was in the industry obviously, had a rate of 5%. I thought, holy crap, like this is amazing. I'm never going to have to refinance again. Well, I refinanced 5 times in 3 years. So I started at 5, and the thing that most people don't get is that there's not just one rate. So you can have a 0-point rate, or you can also get a little bit higher one that pays your closing costs. So my strategy for me personally was, I was at 5, the 0-point rate was 4.5. I said, I don't want that one. I don't want to wrap in closing costs. So I'm going to take 4.75. I'm going to save money for free. So every time, every refinance I did 5 times, I never took the absolute lowest rate. I took the best rate for me, which was the one that paid my closing costs, and I just kept paying what I was used to paying. So basically now we have an 18-year mortgage. I didn't do anything different.
That's great.
Or if you're gonna wrap in closing costs, yeah, I think 0.5% that usually ends up being yeah, even if you're wrapping in closing costs, that probably makes sense to, in the long term, so.
Awesome. Awesome. Listeners, viewers, I hope you enjoyed Lou and New from Lou and New Lake Linganore Review. Alex Nunemaker, MaryLou Fisher. Episode 190 of Frederick Advice Givers, and we are out.